Is there anything else though that you guys have been doing during this time that maybe you didn't have to do before that you've now discovered? Oh wow, we've got to do this. We've got to offer a new service, and I'm sure the answer is yes, because I'm very hard pressed to find a business that hasn't been affected in a way that made them have to do something a little different or develop something new that they hadn't been doing before.
That's a great question. So I spend a lot of time in the vision place. I think a lot about where we're going and what's happening. I've always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
This opportunity, I shouldn't use the word opportunity. It's not really, it's a terrible way to look at it. What's going on around us right now,
right?
It's a terrible, terrible situation. As a business owner, though, it did give me the platform to step back. Number one, because everybody got to take a pause.
Right.
The quarantine was a forced pause button. And that when we hit the pause button, it gave me a chance to stop running 1,000 miles an hour, which I've been doing for 20 years, and be like, oh, okay, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And not that I even know what's right and what's wrong, but you go with this gut feeling of like what's working, what's not. And so for us, it's always been that workflow and process that I mentioned before. In my business, in the IT services business, process and workflow don't tend to be something that you find common. And I always tell people when we're being interviewed or if we're interviewing a potential client, I always tell them, whoever you choose, just make sure that their processes and workflows internally are bulletproof and that their culture is one of process and workflow. And so this time we've stepped back. We're super process driven and super workflow driven because it's the core, it's the glue that holds together our ability to deliver white glove service. We don't have any products. I didn't invent Amazon, right? We don't have any products that are special. We don't invent things. We don't create new products. We fabricate. We take what already exists and we match it to somebody's needs. So what is it that separates us that I was able to take a step back and take even to the next level? It's the feeling that our customers get. It's the feeling that people get working with us. And it's that white glove feel, right? So what allows us to do that? It's our own internal processes and workflows. And it's a culture. So we stepped back and we kind of reinvented ourselves and we looked at everything that we're doing that we could do better, smarter, faster, and more efficiently inside of our own company, within project management discipline, within service delivery day-to-day, within finance. And in our business, it's not common. I can tell you that it's not common. And I can tell you that most people will say that they focus on it. And I can tell you that it's not true. And I'm saying it's not true because I've dealt with so many other companies like mine. And I've stepped into so many people's businesses who have brought us in to find huge messes. And the biggest pain that we uncover with people in their experience with IT firms is this feeling that things aren't finished, things are left undone. There's no follow-up. If you ever shop at Nordstrom, and I don't want to include or exclude anybody that's watching this, that happens to be a store where if you ever go into that store, if we ever go in there again, in the past, if you go into Nordstrom's and you buy something, you could buy a pair of socks. They'll put it in a bag. They'll walk around the other side of the counter. They hand it to you. They look you in the eye and they shake your hand and they say, thank you for shopping with us. It's a small thing that you wouldn't think makes you feel good, but I'd go back to that store over and over and over because I feel like they care about me. That's what we've done. We've always been that way, but we've taken the opportunity to slow down, make sure we're doing that the right way. And it's real and it's authentic and that everybody in my company feels that. And because if you don't feel that, you can't work in my company. You have to feel that as a person. And yeah, you have to be a technology professional, but you have to feel like you care about people. So during this time, we step back and we really double down on that. And then more like logistically and operationally, I doubled down on marketing. I mean, I've doubled my marketing spend. This is the time to do that. Social media marketing, advertising. We've doubled down on the most important thing, which is there's two things here, but they're both equally important. Making sure that my employees all keep their jobs. Okay, so that's been very important to me. And I made a promise to them 6 months ago, and I've been able to keep that promise that salaries don't change and jobs don't get lost. And I knock on wood, I've been able to keep that promise, and the promise to our customers that we will always treat them like the most important thing in the world. And so we've taken this time to make sure that we haven't gotten off track and lost sight of that. That as a company, that's our differentiator. It does start with me. I believe every small business is an extension of the business owner's personality and the way they feel. And
Right.
you're hearing me, and I hope it's coming through as real, because this is who I am. My company is this. This is who our company is, and we've just made sure during this time that that's still there. And one last thing. I mean, the most obvious thing that we've done is I stepped back and I said, okay, like everybody else, let me double check my expenses aren't too high, and let's cut where we can cut, not people, but. And it's funny. I found
the extra things, there's a little things that you just don't think about till you start looking at it.
I found about 15% that went back down to the bottom line, which is a big number in our business. Because in my business, there are most firms in my business, their bottom line is 15%. That's their net profit is 15%. I found 15% more just by reducing expenses that we just didn't stop and take such a close look at as things built up over the years. Now, I've done two acquisitions over the past 2014 and 2016. So was that 6 years? I've done 2 acquisitions, which is where I've got most of my growth from. In that process of doing that, you get bigger and bigger and bigger. I never stopped to actually say, "Oh, let's just stop everything and make sure we're not overspending." And this past 5 months, we've done that, and I was like, "Wow, we found 15% to the bottom line. That's bonuses for people. I've given people raises in the past few months.
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. And it gave us the revenue we needed. It gave us the extra cash flow. We didn't need it, but it gave us the extra cash flow. I threw it all at marketing. It's all going to marketing so we can reach more people and help more people. I don't feel as a business owner that focusing so much attention on that for the past 5 or 6 months, which you could feel this way. And I've thought about it. I don't feel that I've lost any ground.
Right.
Because right now the playing field has been leveled. I think everybody's sales have kind of just gotten to a certain level. I think everybody knows that we're waiting for everybody to get more comfortable to really start investing in IT again, and it's starting to happen. Not that there's no sales for anybody, there is, but it's okay to take the time now to stop, regroup, make sure you're doing the right thing. And if you do need to pivot, you have time. You have the rest of this year. Pivot. Go into 2021 doing it the right way. Pivot now. And don't be afraid.